What's up, everyone? We are set for a huge week in the stock market as on Friday, a bunch of stocks just set the tone and moved up in a major way. And on top of that, we had some pretty big news come out of Tesla today, where they actually reported record delivery and production numbers for the first quarter of 2023. So this is huge. We have a lot to go over in today's video. The stock market, or the S&P 500, made a statement on Friday, so we are set for a huge week. So make sure to stick with me all the way towards the end of today's video. And at the end, I definitely have a treat for you guys with a $1.2 million play that is one of the best ones that we've seen in a while. So make sure to stick with me. So let's get right into it. Looking at the heat map from Friday, like I said, a lot of stocks set the tone. Tesla was up over 6%, which is a pretty big amount. Google was up 3%. Apple, Microsoft, Meta, basically all stocks moved up in a really strong way. And we have not seen this type of excitement and I guess you could say electricity in the stock market in a little bit now. You know, like looking intraday at the S&P 500 on Friday, it was just a straight ride up basically all day long. And, you know, there was some good like price action to it. It wasn't like a slow choppy move higher. Like there was a lot of, you know, power behind this move. And that's awesome to see because we have not seen this in quite some time. Now, going into some of like the main stocks and some of the biggest things to know going into this week, like I said with Tesla, you know, this is some huge news that came out. You know, they reported some really, they reported record numbers. You know, that's the best way to say it. With that being said, while Tesla reported deliveries of around 422,000 vehicles for this quarter, the estimates were actually closer to like 430,000 to 432,000 vehicles for the quarter. So it's like, you know, they're having good news in the sense of, you know, record deliveries, but it's not quite as much as everyone was expecting. And that brings a very weird situation for Tesla stock because it had such an amazing day on Friday. There was a ton of buying pressure. And it's like you have this news where it's like, all right, we have record deliveries, but it wasn't as good as what everyone was expecting, you know, so it's weird. And when you look at Tesla stock a little bit deeper, you know, we can see right now it's around $207 a share. It has all-time highs right around like $415 a share. And then it has recent lows of around $102 per share. So it's like, you know, in the grand scheme of things, yeah, it's still very far off its all-time high. But at the same time, just over the past couple of months, this stock's up about 100%, you know? So it's like right now, going into the market this week, I think the best way to go is just ride the momentum that the market sets tomorrow going into Monday. So basically, you know, Tesla is one of the craziest stocks in the market. Sometimes it can have great news and tank down. Sometimes it could have no news and rocket up higher than any other stock. And it all comes down to, you know, if the hype, if the momentum's there, if it's actually moving, if people are actually, you know, trading it in a big way. So going into tomorrow, I think the biggest thing is watch it close to open. You know, if you see that same type of electricity and hype that we saw on Friday, then Tesla might be great for a continuation play throughout the rest of the week. But like I said, it all depends on how the market reacts. Sometimes we see bad news and the stock go up, and sometimes we see great news and the stock tank down. So it all depends on, you know, if the money truly flows in, or if the, you know, the flow truly flows into this stock. So definitely keep that in mind. And then shifting over to a different note, we all love earnings, and basically this week we have no major earnings. Feel free to screenshot the chart if you want, but there are not really any major earnings this week. But as, you know, let's say 2 or 3 weeks from now, we're going to see some pretty big earnings from everything as earnings season will kick back up again. So that'll be super exciting. And then on a different note for the schedule for this week, there's nothing too crazy. We have like a couple speeches from Fed members here and there. But the main thing will be on Friday. Basically, we have unemployment data set to come in. Looking at the unemployment rate right now, it's still very low, right around 3.6%. I know there was a lot of expectations that this will, you know, start to uptick a little bit. Looking back at the expectations, you know, basically right now the unemployment rate is 3.6%, and it's expected to come in at, you know, anywhere between 3.5% and 3.6%. So there's been a lot of mixed thoughts with this unemployment rate. right now. There's been a ton of layoffs from a bunch of major companies, whether it's Amazon or Google or literally any other company out there, Meta. But the unemployment rate it's not ticking up. It's just staying where it is. So the jobs market is still very it's still very competitive. So keep that in mind. Some other things to be aware of is that on Friday we actually saw SWBI or Smith & Wesson pop up a pretty good amount. As we know, unfortunately, there was a horrible shooting at an elementary school in Nashville. And anytime we see situations like this, of course, there's more pressure for gun control and stuff like that. And with that comes, I guess you could say like these defense type stocks or gun stocks moving up in a big way. So right now, Smith & Wesson has a lot of positive flow going into it. This stock right now is right around $12.30. Back in 2021, it has a high of $39 and around 50 cents. So, it's a wild swinging stock. These types of stocks are heavily influenced by news. And whenever you have a horrible situation like we had in Nashville, it definitely makes stocks like these move up in a major way. So definitely keep SWBI on your watch list. Normally with these types of events, we do see it uptick quite a decent amount. Another stock worth noting is UPST. So this is Upstart. It's a financial stock. Basically, in 2020 and 2021, there was a ton of hype with this company. It initially started trading for around $25, and it ran all the way up to over $400 in like less than a year. So it really had an amazing run up, but then it all came tumbling back down. And right now it's down to 16 basically, right? So we're at a point where it's like the stock is very oversold. In the short term, it double bottomed right off of this $13 level, and we've seen a ton of buyers flow into it on Friday. There are multiple reasons for this. The first thing is, one, it's like when you have a stock that went from $400 down to 12, it's like, inevitably you see bounces, right? But on top of that, over the past couple of weeks, we've also seen a ton of stress and fear related to just the financial sector overall, and especially bank stocks. And some of those fears are starting to calm down. Given that Upstart is, in the financial industry, when you have those types of fears easing, it's good for a company like this. But as we look into, this price action deeper, there was a really good amount of just like buying pressure flowing into this company, and it hasn't ran up in a good way in quite some time. So I definitely have Upstart on my watch list going into this week as well. Like I said, it's super oversold, and we're actually seeing some pretty good price action out of it. So definitely make sure to keep a close eye on it for this week. And those are my plays, or two of my favorite ones. As you guys know, Tom is not with us for today's episode. He's had to take care of some stuff, and he'll be right back with us in tomorrow's episode. But with that being said, let's get right into the momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have none other than AMD. Everyone knows this one. So the stock is lingering right around $98 a share right now, and it has a pretty big support right around $96 per share. If we see a break below this, this stock can definitely pull back a lot more. So keep that in mind. If the market turns over tomorrow, keep a close eye on AMD and that $96 support. If it breaks below it, it could be a good play down. Another stock worth noting is good old Disney. So it has some pretty big resistance right around $100.50. If we can see a rip above that, this stock can definitely run more. Disney over the past year or so, and even over the past couple of months, has been super choppy, but overall, it's a pretty good stock to trade, very liquid, and, it offers a nice blend of not being too crazy for like swing trading, but at the same time being crazy enough where you can actually get some good day trades out of it intraday. So definitely keep it close on your watch list. And last but not least, we have Palantir. So a lot of people know this one. There was a ton of hype with it back in 2021. And, it pulled back over the past couple of months, like basically every other stock in the market. And right now, it's coming back up to a crucial resistance right around $8.50 per share. If we could see a nice rip above that with some nice volume and momentum, this can be a pretty solid stock to trade to the upside for tomorrow. So those are the momentum plays for tomorrow. We have Palantir and Disney to the upside. We have $8.50 on Palantir and $100.50 on Disney. And then don't forget about AMD with that downside play right at that $96 level. But if you guys are looking for day trades from our bot especially, check this out. So in our Discord chat, we have many different channels. Whether you're just looking to discuss and chat with other members, or whether you're looking to, do some shorter term day trades, we basically have everything. Our sniper bot and hybrid bot are absolutely amazing, and you won't find them anywhere else. On Friday, the sniper bot called out the meta call options at $360 each. They ended up going all the way up to $470 each, all within the same day, and it only gets better. We'll start with the next one with Tesla. Basically, we had Tesla call options alerted at $254 each. They popped all the way up to $535 each. And then we had a crazy play with AI, whereas AI call options alerted at $283 each, and they popped all the way up to $530 each. Of course, not every single play wins, but the bots do a hell of a job, and they only get smarter and smarter and smarter with time. And we have some game-changing new updates that'll release pretty soon. I'm super excited for them, but yeah, I mean, the prices will definitely rise with this. We have some huge updates in the works, and it's going to be a very exciting next couple weeks. So if you're looking to, access our bots, if you're into short-term trading, definitely check out that first link in the description in the comments down below. But with that being said, it is now time for my favorite part of the video, and that is the big money trade of the day. We had $1.23 million go into the Palantir 5-strike call options that expire on May 19th of 2023. So this is a crazy play. Essentially, Palantir is one of those, growth stocks like I talked about. It had a great run up in 2021. And ever since that point, it tanked down, just like every other stock. But what we have right now is Palantir is holding up a lot better than most growth stocks. Over the past couple of months, it's really done a very good job at just like holding its ground. It didn't have any game-changing movement to the upside like Meta or anything like that, but it has held up very strongly, and it's done more. It's just been in more of like a consolidation phase than anything else over the past couple of months. But we're at a point where it's like the stock's holding its level in a strong way. We're starting to see some pretty good price action with the company. And we have earnings coming up pretty soon as well on May 9th. That's the current scheduled day for it. So right now, Palantir, when you have, you could say $1.23 million going into these call options. That's a very bullish outlook. And, you don't have some, hedge fund trader or smart money trader just putting $1.23 million into this option for no reason. Obviously, it's like the risk reward setup is really great, and I actually really like this setup. Palantir is a company I hold for the long term. Right now the stock's right around $8.45. The 5-strike is deep in the money. There's a couple months worth of time to it, so I'll tell you, I think it's a pretty good setup. I really like the risk to reward, so definitely keep a close eye on Palantir over the next couple weeks and months. I think this play is going to be pretty exciting. And I like it. So keep a close eye on it. Basically, for those of you who don't know, when the big money buys call options, it's essentially a bet that this stock is going to go up. So the higher Palantir goes, the more millions this trader will make on it. So keep that in mind. But overall, I am super pumped for this week. We have not seen this type of excitement and movement out of the S&P 500, let alone some of these companies like Tesla and Upstart and all these other stocks that have been so oversold in quite some time. So I think this week is going to be really amazing. I'm pumped, guys. So let me know some of your favorite stocks in the comments down below. And if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see my videos recommended to you more often. And last but not least, giant shout out to today's member of the day, Shamir Diamond. You've been in the Discord for almost 3 years now, and you're still active to this day. I know your activity has definitely been picking up over the past couple of, past day, past week or so. So definitely make sure to keep it up. It's awesome having you in the chat. Besides that, guys, don't forget, if you're into short-term trading, definitely check out that first link in the description in the comments down below, and let's have an amazing week.